Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Filmaholic. I am Matthew, and today we are going to be doing this. Is going to be kind of like part one of the happy hour this week. Hopefully, for part two, I can get Bell back on. We can do a happy hour like normal. He has some work obligations that he had to do this week, so he wasn't able to do this episode with me. But I wanted to go ahead and film some because we got a lot of news. We got a lot of news this week, right? The Super Bowl came out. The Super Bowl happened on Sunday, and we got a lot of trailers. Well, not a huge amount, but a lot of some good stuff, and some bad stuff. Last Friday, the full trailer for Fast and Furious 9 came out, so I'm going to talk heavily about that. I'm going to save some of the stuff Marvel related, as far as Black Widow, Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision. I'm going to save that for when a bell comes on. I am going to talk about Doctor Strange 2 and the rumored director on this episode because I want to dive into that, and it's happening now. But really, I'm going to talk about that and Fast and Furious today in this episode of Happy Hour, and tune in for part 2 with the bell, and we'll talk about some more movies. We already talked about the teaser to the trailer that happened before my California trip. But while I was there, the new trailer dropped, and I watched it. Yeah, pure garbo. This franchise has just went to the shitter big time. Like, the franchise itself is one that I enjoy. I never really understood when people say they had guilty pleasure movies or like they watched movies that were like so bad they enjoyed it. I never really like experienced that other than Fast and Furious. And Fast and Furious really isn't that bad. Like some of the earlier films, like the first one, I think is a good film. It's kind of like a rehash of Point Break, but it made it its own. I enjoyed it. It's my favorite in the franchise. You know, it got a little weaker. The second one was okay. The third one wasn't good. They got back in the game with the fourth film. 5 was really good. 6 was good. 7 was great. About on the same level as the first one for me. And I strongly believe that the franchise should have ended with Furious 7. Like, that was a great ending to the franchise. It was fun, over the top, but not too much. Not at least where they've taken things today. And then the 8th film came out, and the 8th film is one that I was excited for. At the time, I was one of the people that said the franchise could go on without Paul Walker. It still could go on after Furious 7. They didn't necessarily need to end the franchise. I was wrong. They definitely should have ended the franchise with Furious 7 because they made 8 and it was just, oh man, it was so bad. The writing was terrible, and I know you don't turn in to watch these films for the screenplays, right? Like, that's not why you're watching a Fast and Furious movie, but there's a difference between something that's okay, like it works, and just being painfully bad, and that's what Fate of the Furious was. I mean, even the title was fucking stupid. But it was just over the top, like ridiculous, just stupid, not fun, painful. Like, it just felt a betrayal to the franchise, like stuff that was like, why is this happening? You know, Charlize Theron came in. You got this great talented actress. She comes in, plays this awful villain in the film that apparently is going to be like a villain for the rest of the franchise now. She's back in 9. They bring in some new characters. Clint Eastwood's son comes in. Obviously, he can't act, so like stinks up the movie some more. You got Jason Statham and The Rock in 8, and it's like they're trying to compete with Vin Diesel in the film of who's leading the franchise at this point. Obviously, it's still Vin Diesel in Fate of the Furious, but just awful. Like, left such a bad taste in my mouth that I didn't want even to see Hobbs and Shaw when it came out because I was like, man, that 8 one sucked. Hobbs and Shaw it wasn't great. I don't really know where I'd rank it in the franchise right now. Maybe we'll do that list at some other point. But it was okay. I enjoyed it. I think that if there is any future with the franchise moving forward, it is with The Rock and his character. Because the Vin Diesel stuff, it's over, man. Like, this 9th trailer came out. First of all, I don't even know what the film's called, other than F9. Are they calling it F9? They can't keep like a straight title in these things. You know, like it was Fast and Furious, The Fast and Furious, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, Furious 7, Fate of the Furious. Now we're just getting F9 maybe, or are they going to call it Fast and Furious 9? I don't know. Like, maybe I'll just call it Fine. Like F. I don't want to give them ideas. Who knows what 10 will be? I was thinking FX, but now Vin Diesel. Before I actually break down this trailer and talk about it, Vin Diesel, I read an article today that he's came out and he says that he wants the 10th film in the franchise to be a two-parter. He doesn't want to just do 10 and be done, which I think 10 is supposed to come out next year, 2021. So he's saying he wants to do 10 as two films, I guess coming out a year apart. Oh, man, just milking the shit out of this thing. We're going to get 2 more after 9? Like, this story is so big that you need to tell it in 2 films? I can't. Yeah, it's happy hour. They better fucking go to space in the 10th one. That's all I'm saying. They better go to space. I better see some Transformers. G.I. Joe might pop into this thing. Godzilla, he's not even with Universal. He's like over with Warner Brothers, but fuck, bring him in. Jurassic Park. Let's do something crazy. Like at least let's have fun with this. I'm tired of this. Whatever's happening is just ridiculous. These guys were street racers, and then you get to this trailer for F9, and they're like, there's a spaceship I think picking up like John Cena, and then like we got cars like literally swinging from ropes across fucking cliffs. Like just awful, and you know it sets it up. And you're watching the trailer and you're thinking they're going to make John Cena Vin Diesel's brother in this film. And you're like, man, that's a really dumb idea. I hope they don't do that. The trailer keeps going. Nah, they're going to do that. Yeah, so John Cena is playing Vin Diesel's brother in this film. A brother that I'm pretty sure has not been mentioned at all, the whole franchise. This franchise is 19 years old. Like, it'll soon be 20 years old. And in this whole time, no mention that he had any other siblings other than Mia. And now, he's got a brother? What's going to happen in the 10th film? Is his dad still going to be alive? Is he going to come out to be the villain? Is his mom... We never saw or heard anything about his mom, as far as I know. Is she going to come back? Is she going to be a big part of the last one? This is just ridiculous. Brewster's back in this film too. Like, she doesn't really have anything to do in the trailer, but she's back. So you're like, well, that's his sister. You know, it's gonna be this family issue. Okay, so you're gonna bring her back, but you're not gonna bring Brian back because Paul Walker's dead. How are you gonna explain that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And you're gonna give me some lame excuse that he's watching the kids. Doesn't fit the character that he would do. Like, not come with me or whatever. Like, it's just dumb. I was actually curious to begin with, like, what John Cena was going to do in the film. Like, I don't think he's that bad. Like, I think he's kind of funny in some of the stuff I've seen him in so far. So, I was hoping he'd bring us like something similar to what The Rock brought to the franchise. Definitely don't think this is happening at this point. It's just looked terrible. Yeah, and Charlize Theron's in there again, like probably giving one of the worst performances of her career. I don't know what's happening. Michelle Rodriguez. It's everybody in this film is just like cashing in a check. Like, I mean, obviously it's a film, like it's a big summer blockbuster, but come on, guys. Like, you say you care so much about the fans, just end this franchise. If you can't make anything better than this, just end it. Like, we're just grasping at straws. Like, you couldn't think of anything else. And you're like, well, let's bring in a brother for Dom. Like, let's just shake things up and do it that way. No, it's stupid. And then, so like the trailer's full of this ridiculous fight scene, stupid, just not enjoyable. I'm bored out of my mind watching this. I can't believe they're actually going with this, hit brother angle thing. Then we see the spaceship, whatever happens. Maybe it's a plane, but fuck it. And then we get to the big reveal at the end that Han is still alive. Yeah, Han, who died in Tokyo Drift, and then they brought him back because these movies took place before Tokyo Drift. Well, he still died, and they even turned it around that Jason Statham's character killed him in revenge for his brother, who didn't actually die either. I don't really think anyone actually dies in these fucking films. Anyways, so the reveal is that Han's back, and he's like eating food, chips or whatever, like he does in all the other films, and he walks up and he gives Dom a hug. I'm so over it, dude. Like, no, I did not want to see that. I like that character. I liked Han. He was probably one of my favorite characters in the franchise. And it sucked that you killed him off in Tokyo Drift, and because, you know, that film came out before you actually got him going in the other films. But he's dead. You killed him. And you killed his love interest too. Her character was cool. You killed her. So why bring him back now? Like, you're grasping at things and trying to get people, you know, it's painful. Just stop. And I don't want to see another 10th film split into two. Just give me the sequel to Hobbs and Shaw, and like Ryan Reynolds, put him in it and have fun with that. Like, end this stuff. It was bad. And I hope that they don't play that trailer in front of films. I know they're going to. I'm going to have to sit and watch it. But it was like fucking 4 minutes long, too. Can't even imagine what else trailers they're going to put out. But, yeah, not excited for this film at all. But, yeah, that was probably the biggest trailer that's came out recently, I think, like, as far as, like, full-length trailer. We obviously got the Disney Plus show stuff and the Black Widow thing. During the Super Bowl, we got a Top Gun trailer. All that we're going to talk about with the Bell during the next happy hour. The next thing I want to talk about is Doctor Strange. The sequel, obviously, Scott Derrickson left the project, and they've been searched for a new director. And the film's coming out next year, 2021, in May. So they've got to get moving quick. You know, it's going to start filming soon, so they got to have a new director, got his vision or her vision going. And the rumor now is that Sam Raimi is going to be taking over and directing Doctor Strange 2. I'm a huge fan of this for a couple of reasons. One, I just think he definitely fits to direct a Doctor Strange film. Look at his background. First, he's done lots of horror. Great. That's what you want for this Doctor Strange sequel. He's done some comedy stuff. Like, his comedy's been in his films. You want that in the MCU. The dude directed a Spider-Man trilogy. I mean, you know, Spider-Man 3 was whatever. Spider-Man 1 and 2, some of the best comic book movies of all time. Don't care what your opinion is on that. It is. So, taking all of those aspects, he's the perfect choice to direct Doctor Strange 2. So that excites me, and obviously, I don't think it actually is going to happen, but with it being a multiverse film, with Spider-Man 3 coming up, with the Spider-Verse animated film being a huge success, they're moving forward with that. There's been rumors and people speculating that at some point they're going to do a live-action multiverse with both Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. Some people want to see that. I do want to see that. I think that's like a better chance of happening now, right? Like, you got Sam Raimi back to do this multiverse movie. Even if it's not like an actual thing they go with, why not have fun with it and show it in this film, or maybe hint at it and set it up that there could be a Spider-Verse live-action film out of this multiverse film. Show Tobey Maguire in the film, even if it's just a cameo. Like I said, you know, that would be really cool. And if you go back to those old Spider-Man films, which I love, there's even like a Doctor Strange little bit in the film where he's like talking. I think it's when he's talking about Doc Ock, and he's like trying to come up with names, J. Jonah Jameson, and he's like Doctor Strange, and then somebody was like, "Oh, that's already taken." I feel like Sam Raimi is probably a fan of this character already. So if I firmly believe if they choose him to direct this film, he's going to knock it out of the park. And if he actually stays on, if he gets confirmed, this may be my most anticipated film, Phase 4. Right now it's Black Widow still, but at least of 2020, Black Widow is my most anticipated. And right now I think it's still my most anticipated of Phase 4. But it could change. Doctor Strange, like if they get this director, that one's going to move up highly for me. And And the more I hear about Thor 4, Thor Love and Thunder, I could get more excited for that. I'm definitely excited for it, but I just don't know exactly what the story is behind that one. But those are my most anticipated of the bunch of films that we're getting so far in Phase 4. Alright guys, that's kind of my happy hour that I'm going to be doing today, and hopefully we can get happy hour part 2 coming up soon with me and Belle. Thanks for tuning in, guys.